All right, here's the next episode of Isabelle. I've got a little piece of cardboard here as a work surface, and I probably still have some fuel in this carburetor I need to get out, so I've got my old gas can container, which is marked so I don't try and put that in a mold by accident. And I need to turn this carburetor this way, and if there's any fuel in there that hadn't already leaked out, it's easy to get to, it'll drip out because most of it came out already. So I'll move this aside, and what we've got to do now is get this bowl off. There's going to be some old gas still trapped up in here, and I'll show you that. And what you want to do is use that same socket, that purple socket. This is your 9/30 seconds. And I'm going to start this just by turning this wrench this way. So that's loose, and these screws are going into plastic, so when you reassemble this, be careful you don't over tighten these or they'll strip. Let's get these off of here. There's one. There's two. So that's off. And what I use to get this bowl off, it's tricky because it's a tight seal. And I apologize for the sound, but I've got a lawn crew here today. I'm doing some edging out front. What you have to do is get a sharp edge or semi-sharp edge right in there between that lip and the carburetor body. That's the bowl, and it's on both sides. And what I've found works really good is just a kitchen knife. The next time you go to a Goodwill thrift store or something like that, just head over to the kitchen section, and there used to be a bin, a drawer of old utensils, and grab you a knife and give them 50 cents for it and put that in your toolbox, because this is very useful because you have a narrow point you can go in, and then to separate that carburetor bowl, you slide it up and it gets thicker and thicker and thicker, like these knives do at your kitchen table. It's thicker there towards the base, and that's what you could use to slide and separate the carburetor bowl. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you how I do this. This is the sharp edge, or semi-sharp. So that's in there, okay? And now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to slide it up this way. Okay, so now I've got good separation on that carburetor bowl. Then I come around and do the same thing on the other side. And I've got to be careful. There may be some gas in this. There it is. So that's off of there. And there was still some old gas in there, but I got that thing off without a whole lot of trouble. So, you know, since I was doing this for the camera, normally I wouldn't, you know, I'd have it closer here to the table and wouldn't have that thing go flying around. But it's off, and that's good. And this all looks clean. And I'm looking for operation to see if the float works. It does, so that looks good. And now I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to look here to see if I see a pinhole of light shining through there. And if I do, then that means that that jet is clear. May not be quite big enough. We don't know that yet. But at least it's not blocked. I know that. Now, some people might stop here and think, okay, everything's fine. But believe me, there's going to be some of this old gas trapped under this. It's called the cartridge. And so that's got to come out of there. And I'll show you that little bit of trapped gas. It's old and you want that out. So what I use is a little tiny screwdriver, and you come in There's a small gap right there. Okay, small gap right there, and there's another small gap right there. And usually you just come in on one of them, and that's enough to break this free. So it's a little bit dirty. Let me get that off of there. Okay, so I'm going to take this really small screwdriver and slip it right in there. And then you push down and push up, boom. That little cartridge is now free. And I want to show you this trapped fuel in here. So let me get that out of there. Okay. Now I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. See that trapped fuel? So that was it. That's not going to come out unless you take that out. And now there is a plastic piece that's stayed behind. That's not the end of the world, but I've got to get that out of there because that's part of this cartridge. So let me see if I can do that. I'm going to do it down here on the table. So that piece is still in there. I'm going to get me some needle nose pliers and try and pull that out. Hang on a second. Yep. So the cartridge did separate. This is not dirty. I've seen grass and dirt down inside these that had to be cleaned out, so that's not bad. But this has to come out, so let me show you this. That plastic piece is still in there. That's part of that cartridge, so I've got to get that out. I'm grabbing it with the pliers. Wiggle, 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 boom. Okay, now it's out. And I'm going to look here to see if that pinhole is showing some light, because that also needs to be clear. And it's not, so I've got to clean that out. Take a quick look at that. Yeah, there's not enough clearance on that for the fuel to move and air to clear that. So let me get a little wire and stick in there. Okay, now this is my assortment of different diameter wires. Let me start with a really small one. See if I can get it in there. Okay, that's good. All right, so that did go in. So that means that's clear. Let me try one of the bigger ones I've got on here. We'll see if that can go in there. And that one's too big, but I think that's going to be okay with that amount of clearance. Okay. Kind of hard to see, but I think that's going to be okay. If it's not, we'll come back and clean that out some more. And this is how you reassemble this little cartridge. So you got these two pieces here, and it's very snug. Piece of dirt there. I usually put one tiny little drop of oil right there on that lip. So let's do that. Okay, so I put a tiny little drop of oil right there on that lip, because this hits this, and there's a lot of resistance there, and it's kind of hard to get this back together without doing that. So I'm going to squeeze it on, boom, slides right on. And so I'll take a little paper towel, and I will go around there and clean that bit of oil off. Okay, so now this is ready to install back in here. That part of the carburetor looks clean, so I'm glad about that. You got the red gasket here, and so you want this jet facing you. Because it won't go in that way. See, that's blocked. So it only goes in this way. So you want the jet and this gasket both facing this way. Then you know you've got it in the right spot. So let me take my little knife I got for 99 cents at the thrift store. Tap, tap, tap. And see how that's nice and flush. You don't want it sticking up. This white plastic has to be down in there and seated until I sound that it is. All right. So now we're ready to reassemble this carburetor. So I'll get the bowl on, but I don't want to tie you up with that. So signing off for now, and we'll come back later.